So you bought a Z Fold 5. Now what? Well, in this video, I actually had a lot of folks who were asking me, what should I do with my phone once I get it? So in this video, I'm going to go through, show you some tips and tricks and some things on how to set up your phone and optimize it for the best case usage for you and how you want to use your phone. So hopefully this is helpful. I know some of you asked for this, so let's just dive straight in and we'll start looking at the Z Fold 5. All right, so we have our Z Fold 5. First things first, I recommend if you haven't bought one already, get a good case and a screen protector. So the screen protector I recommend, and I'm not getting paid for this, this is what I usually buy, is right here. So this one right here, the Spigen tempered glass screen protector, Glass TR Easy Fit. It's 20 bucks. It comes with a 2-pack. Easiest to install screen protectors ever in the history of mankind, based on my experience. Great product. I've used this for almost all of my phones. Very, very good. And it even comes with the installation tray. Like it's super easy. So I highly recommend that. I'll have a link in the description. As far as cases go, of course you can get this one. This is the official Samsung one with the S Pen, and it has this new style S Pen, which I'm not crazy about, but whatever, it locks into place. It's $100 though. Like this is a $100 case, and that's crazy expensive. And just so you know, the S Pen from the Z Fold 3 and the 4 does work on it. So if that saves you a couple of bucks, so you don't want to buy the new one. Now, there's a lot of different cases to choose from. If you want something thin, minimalistic, the Rinky Slim, I haven't personally used it on this phone because I don't have it yet, but I have it on my Z Flip 5, and I love it. I've used it on other phones in the past, so that's a nice, minimalistic, not a lot of protection, but at least it'll give you enough protection from some scuffs and scrapes and just keeping your phone intact. Spigen, they make great cases. Their Thin Fit Pro designed for Z Fold 5. This one is pretty good too. And anything with Spigen is pretty good. This one right here, the Slim Armor Pro, that's a good case as well. You can see though, they don't come with an S Pen, so you have to have one, you have to buy one, you have to carry around your pocket, whatever. So just pay attention to those things. But yeah, there's a lot of different cases you can get. Samsung has a couple that have like a grip and things like that. You just have to look around and find which one works best for you. I don't know. I don't have too much of a preference when it comes to cases, but definitely I think that that's a fantastic screen protector. So I'll have links in the description for that stuff. So first things first, I'm going to show you how to multitask. So whenever you open something up, so let's say you open up an app, you can see, well, the little toolbar. There we go. So you can see the little toolbar down on the bottom. This has frequently used or recently opened apps or currently open apps. So we've got Chrome open right now. If you want to add something else, you just hit the little dots over here, and let's say we want to open up Facebook. All right, Facebook's open now, so we'll go to Chrome. You can see Facebook is now down here. So let's say we want to go back and forth. Let's say we go to Facebook. You just tap on it. You go to Chrome. You just tap on it. So multitasking, super nice and simple. Now here's something that's cool. If you want to multitask and have multiple windows, you just press and hold, and you drag it to the screen. Ta-da! And then of course you can move this around. You can size everything however you want it. You can set it for split window like that, so that's cool. My friend Andrew Mark David, 145,000 subscribers. He's doing great. Check out his channel if you love laptop stuff. Super good guy. Now let's open up another one. So let's say we want to open up X, wherever that's at. X, where is X? Used to be Twitter. Let's just open up Spotify. So you can drag straight from here and drag it out here. So that's nice. So you can drag it out here as well. And now you've got, ta-da, 3 windows, and you can of course resize all this stuff. Larger, smaller, drag it all the way down and close it. So that's pretty cool. And then the taskbar down here, if you press and hold, it goes away. And then if you just press back down here again, it comes back up. So that's nice. If you don't want the taskbar down there, get rid of it, press and hold, it comes right back. So that's nice. So that's some easy multitasking stuff. If you have the S Pen, you'll see this little shadowy pencil over here, and that pulls up all your stuff for the S Pen. So create a note, view all notes, smart select, screen write, live messages, AR doodle, translate, pen up, all that good stuff. If you don't have the S Pen, you'll never see that. So, and when you get close, you can just tap on it and boop, you're good to go. Now, one other multitasking thing that I don't really use, and is called edge panels. So it comes with edge panels on by default. I don't really like it because it takes up space on the screen. You can move this around. So this is the edge panel. If you open it, then you can see all these commonly used apps. You can have app pairs as well. So if you press this at the same time, But out, it opens both of them back up. So that's kind of neat. But so you've got your edge panels, and then you can drag that out, and you can see, of course, different options here. You can edit it. You can see more apps. You've got your app pairs. You can set those up to where it opens 2 at a time. I don't really like this because I actually hit it. It gets in the way. So you can also move it around. If you press and hold, you can move it around. You can even drag it over to the other side. So you can have it on the right side or the left side. So pretty easy there. That way, if it gets in the way, you can put it wherever you want. So that's a nice thing. Again, I don't really use that, but it's all up to you. If you want to have it on, have it off, that's your call. So we're going to go back into display settings. I'm going to turn that back off. That's called edge panels. So here we go. All right, from the top. So this is important right here. Light mode, dark mode. So dark mode is what I have it in. You can see everything is black. All the menu stuff is black. It saves on battery. You can put it on light mode. It turns everything bright white. So if you like bright white stuff, you like your menus to be white, you like all this stuff to be really light, you can go with that. But what it does is it burns up more battery. So I like to leave it on dark mode. It's also easier on the eyes. You go to dark mode settings. You can have it scheduled to come on at a certain time. So that's cool. Brightness, of course, you've got that adaptive brightness that kicks in, and it'll adjust the brightness on your screen. Whether if it's really light, it'll dim it down some, or it'll change it up just so you can see the screen well enough. Supposedly it saves on battery. I don't mess with it. Extra brightness, increase the maximum brightness. This uses more battery. Motion smoothness. So how mine got on standard, I don't know. Apparently my energy saving mode came on. If energy saving mode ever comes on, it takes the refresh rate and it puts it on standard. So adaptive, this is your 120 hertz. This is your smooth refresh rate, all that great stuff. That's probably what you want. Standard, it drops to 60 hertz. It's not as smooth. You can see the little example here. It does save on battery, but I mean, the battery life's plenty good enough. I'm getting about 8 hours or more of screen on time, which is really good for me. So that's motion smoothness. IComfort Shield, this has to do with like blue light stuff, and you can change this up, adaptive, custom, and change the temperatures, change all the stuff on here. Makes it more comfortable by limiting blue light, using warmer colors so it's less harsh on your eyes. It's good for nighttime when you're trying to get ready to wind down. Screen mode, you can change this to natural, vivid. You can change the color balance from white balance from cool to warm to make things look warmer, or you can make things look cooler, more lighter. I don't really mess with that. You can even do more advanced things with that. Font style and font size and style. So you can change it if you want. If you want large text, you can go that way. If you want small text, you can go that way. Well, I think mine was right there. You can change the default font. You can download additional fonts if you want it to look different. And then you can bold the font if you want. So just a little way you can customize things here. Screen timeout. Now this right here is big for battery. I do a lot of stuff on my phone. I like to keep my screen on for a long time. I'm always making videos, reviewing things and stuff like that. Ideally for most folks, you probably want it 30 seconds to a minute. And what happens is after it reaches a minute or 30 seconds, however long you haven't used your phone, it cuts the screen off. That helps save on battery. It's not so good for me when I'm trying to do illustrations. So I always keep mine on higher, but you can do that. The taskbar, you can make that go away if you want. Now, I like the taskbar. It's down at the bottom, and like I said, you just press and hold and it goes away. So I recommend leaving that on. The navigation bar. Some people like this, some people don't. Some people are old school. They like the buttons where you get the buttons down on the bottom. So you get the back, the menu, and the home button. I like swipe gestures myself. I think swipe gestures are easier. It gives you a little tutorial if you've never used it before. So that's something that you can mess with. Set it up however you want. Touch sensitivity, I haven't really had a problem with this. The screen protector that's on here is pretty good. If you put a glass screen protector on the front, you can leave it on. That might help out some. Accidental touch protection, this kind of helps eliminate accidental touches for the screen coming on while it's in your pocket. That'll help save battery. And then screensaver, if you want to have one, you can certainly set one up. Colors, photo table, photo frame, and you can set up, have a screensaver when your screen turns off. Of course, that comes on automatically while your phone's charging. So that's something cool that you can do. Battery and device care. Now, one thing I want to show y'all here is, if you ever need to send your phone off, we've got maintenance mode. And this is under battery and device care. So if you want to lock your personal information, make everything private, if you send this off, you're worried about sending your phone in and somebody having to mess with it, put it on maintenance mode before you do that or before you hand it to somebody. That way it keeps all your stuff private, and you can even do an external storage backup if you want, if you're worried about that. So that's an important thing. Now, one thing we can do is go into battery, and when you tap on battery, it shows you your battery life. So you can see battery background usage limits. You can of course set those. So you can set for sleeping apps, deep sleeping apps, never sleeping apps, and you can set these. If you want an app to never go into sleep mode, you can add that here. And sleep mode basically kind of puts the app in hibernation, and it's not using background data and things like that. That's something that can eat up your battery. And what it does is normally it puts unused apps to sleep, so that's usually a good practice. But here, you can view the details, right? So I use Reddit for 1.9%, YouTube 1.6%, Yahoo Mail. So if you see something on here that you're not using, and it's using a bunch of battery, then just press it, and then you can go in and take a look at it, and then you can limit usage. So if you want to limit usage, you can put it in deep sleep, put it to sleep, or cancel. And that right there will help save you on the battery for what that app is using. So that's a good thing. And you can just kind of get a good feel for what's going on here. And then you can see what your screen on time is. This is a good way to gauge battery, screen on time, screen off time. It's been off the charger for 12.5 hours. So that's something that's nice. And then we're going to go back, and then we'll take a look at power saving. So power saving mode, this is where you kind of customize things. Once it gets to a certain percent, like 20% or whatever, it'll kick in. It'll ask you if you want to go into power saving mode, or you can turn power saving mode on, and then these things kick in, like turn off always on display, limit CPU speed to 70%, decrease brightness by 70%, limit apps on home screen. And this will help. So let's say your battery gets low, you still want to keep using your phone, but you don't want to shut everything off. Then power saving mode is a great way to do that. And then also it's going to turn your adaptive display to standard. So it's going to turn off your high refresh rate. But once you come out of power saving mode, it kicks back in. Software updates. So if you need to update your software, this is where you come. You come here and you go to download and install, and then it'll check for updates. So if you know there's a new update, if you haven't checked in a while, then of course you can come here. My software is up to date, so it's no big deal for me, but this is where you do it, an auto download over Wi-Fi. So if you're on Wi-Fi, you can get it to automatically download your update. Tip and user manual. So if you want to learn more about your phone, you can come here and take a look at tips and user manual stuff. This will help you learn more about your phone. Basically everything. All this different stuff, you can just come in here and learn more about your phone. So that's a nice thing. It's there on tap on the phone. Digital well-being stuff. You can set goals here for screen time. So if you want to limit, let's say you want to limit YouTube to 2 hours a day, you can set goals there. App timers. If you're using it more than you like, set a timer to help manage your usage. Driving monitor, see how much you use your phone while driving. So there's a lot of stuff in here you can do. And then bedtime mode. Right here, you can create an environment to help you sleep well and wake up on time. Sleep mode can turn on automatically based off your sleep schedule. So you can set this up. You can have sleep mode. It kicks in the blue light filter and things like that. And you can set a certain time that you want your sleep schedule to kick in. Now, I don't really do that because I don't like stuff turning on automatically, but you can do it. Security and privacy. So one thing I want to show you here is in the lock screen. So let me go in here, and then let me go to my fingerprint. Now, don't want you to see my pin. I talked about this in a previous short video I did. Fingerprint always on. So you want to turn this on, I think. So if you have it off, then what happens is whenever you have your screen off, it won't activate the fingerprint scanner unless you press it. You have to press it to activate the fingerprint scanner. So I don't like that. I like it to automatically register whenever I do it. So I highly recommend turning that on. Fingerprint always on. You can have it where it's always on for the cover screen, always on for the main screen. I do it for both. Highly, highly recommend that. One thing with the camera I want to show you. So whenever you do the camera, normally the first time you open it up, it's going to ask you if you want to have location settings on. I don't like having location settings on my photos because if you get something, you post it to the internet, you share it somewhere, then it has the location data for where you took your photo. So whenever the camera pops up for the first time, I recommend not having that on. But if you want to mess with it later, you can come in here and location tags, that's what it is. You can turn that on or off. If you want to turn it on for a certain instance in time and say, hey, I want the location data on this, and put it on and then turn it back off when you're ready. You can, shutter sound. If you don't like to hear it make the sound, the camera shutter when you press the button, turn that off. I like to leave mine off. Vibration feedback. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff you can mess with in here whenever it comes to setting up your camera, like what resolution you want it on, what you want it on for the video, different camera modes and things like that. So I don't really go into the camera too much, but of course you've got all your different settings in here. Click on more, you can see the different modes: expert raw, pro video, panorama, food mode. That one's important for me. Night mode, if you're taking photos at night, or low light, you want to turn that on. Slow motion, hyperlapse, director's view, portrait video. That's pretty cool. So there's all sorts of neat things you can do with the camera. A few more tips and tricks here. Under settings, if you go to advanced features and then go to labs, what you want to do is go down to flex mode panel, and you want to have this on. So it's off by default, which is weird to me because it allows you to use apps in flex mode. So just case in point, if you have the camera open, then you can see it's open like this. But then if you turn the camera like this, it opens up the camera shutter menu on the bottom and then the viewfinder up top. And you can do this like with Netflix, it'll show the video up top. Different things like that. I really don't understand why it's not on by default, but you want to turn that on. Now, another thing that I like to talk about is right here. It's under S Labs as well, advanced features. It's a side button. So a lot of you probably noticed that now that you have this new phone, you have to press the volume up and the power button at the same time to get the power menu to show up. It's really annoying. If you want it the old-fashioned way, if under press and hold, you can still have power off menu, and that's how I keep mine. So that way, all you have to do is press the power button, and ta-da, it works that way instead of having to hit the two buttons at the same time, which is kind of annoying. So that's a tip and trick that might save you some heartache right there. I always get a lot of people ask questions about that. And one other thing that I want to show y'all, it is lock screen here. So under lock screen, you have always on display. So right here, this is where you can change it on and off. Of course, you have it off, it changes the battery setting, like it's not going to burn up as much battery. But if you have it on, you can have show always, tap to show as scheduled. You can change different settings here. But the always on display is this. When you close it, and then you can see, ta-da, you always see information on the front. So if you turn that off, you won't see anything here. So it saves on the battery, but you don't get to see all the cool information on the front. So that's something. I like to have mine on tap to show. That way all you have to do is just tap the screen once and then it pops up. So that's a kind of nice compromise where you save battery, but also you still get the benefits of the always on display. And let me show you something in quick settings. So in quick settings, so here you have all the different stuff. This is the default mode. And of course you've got Dex and Smart View and all that cool stuff. If you want to use Dex, of course, you just tap the button. Link it to Windows so you can get your messages and stuff on Windows. That's cool. Screen recorder, easy one. A lot of people overlook this, but Dolby Atmos. Turn that on. This is going to give you a better audio experience out of your speakers, and definitely if you use Bluetooth audio, if you've got earbuds, that right there is a big lifesaver because it gives you a lot better sound experience. Like the Samsung phones with Dolby Atmos have the best sound experience on Bluetooth that I've experienced. So that's something I always recommend turning that on. And then just real quick, because nobody ever talks about this, modes and routines. So you can set different modes like sleep mode, theater mode, driving mode, and like how people will contact you, notifications and stuff. But routines, this right here is where you can set up your own little programmable routines. So I have one. So mine's on battery level. It says if battery level hits 10%, put the brightness at 30%. And then it ends when the brightness goes back up or you plug it back in. But you can have all sorts of cool ones. I have one for leaving the house where it turns off my NFC. Like I don't use wireless contactless payments at home. So if you're an NFC user, most people don't use that at home. Instead of having NFC on, you can set it where when you leave the house, it turns NFC on. So that way you can use your Samsung Pay whenever you leave the house and stuff. But I definitely recommend messing around with this. Just hit the plus sign and then you can add a trigger. So if what? So if at a specific time, let's say if at 9:30 on a Tuesday, on 9:32 on Tuesday, I want my display to go to max brightness. Ta-da. And then you save it. So now at 9:32 every day, your brightness on your phone will go to max brightness. So you can do all sorts of creative things with this. Nobody really talks about it, but it's a really cool feature you get with One UI where you can set and program all these things where it's like, oh, if it's at 4 o'clock, at 4 o'clock every day you leave work, you want your work profile mode to turn off, you want your normal routine mode to turn on. Or like if you want to set an alarm, right? There's just all sorts of different things you can do to optimize the performance on your phone, and that's just kind of neat. So that I know I covered a whole lot here, but hopefully this was helpful for you and showed you some cool things that you can do with your phone after you first get it to kind of get it set up and optimized for how you want to use it and to understand it a little bit better. Also, this is not a plug for anyone. This is actually an Apple microfiber cloth. Get a microfiber cloth. This screen gets dirty all the time, and it's not really recommended to use cleaners or like alcohol wipes and stuff because it'll build a residue. It can break it down over time. These microfiber cloths do such a great job of cleaning off the screen, the front and the interior screen, and it doesn't leave a residue. It doesn't do anything crazy. It doesn't make your screen wet. It doesn't degrade it. Get a good microfiber cloth. You'll thank me later. And yeah, that's it. All right, that's all I got in this video. Hopefully that was helpful. I know we went through and covered quite a few things, but hey, you just got a foldable. It's your first one, or maybe you've had one before and you didn't know about some of these tips and tricks. Well, now you do. Hopefully this has made your experience with your phone better, helped you set it up, and well, now you can go forth and prosper. So that's all I got in this video. If you have any questions or comments, of course, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.